Welcome to our BagSmart Blast Pro 40-liter backpack review. In this video, I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 500 of the world's best bags and give you my honest pros and cons. We're gonna pack the bag out. I'm gonna tell you what's about it, what's awesome about it, and in the case that you're not quite sold, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video where I'll make some alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs in case you're not quite feeling this particular bag. Let's get into the gist of the BagSmart Blast 40-liter travel backpack. And before we get into the review, it should be noted this is a sponsored review, but don't go anywhere. Here at Nomads Nation, sponsored reviews do not equal positive reviews. All that we give for sponsored reviews is a guaranteed publish date, because we literally have hundreds of backpacks right over there. Like, we're probably at 100 that all need to be reviewed at some point. And our content calendar is very full, so we offer companies the ability to pick their own publish date. So all they get is a guaranteed publish date. Everything else is 100% our opinion. And we've gotten really familiar with BagSmart over the past few months. They're a really interesting brand that has a lot of cool bags that come in at a pretty accessible price point. Let's talk about some of the top features of the Blast Travel Backpack 40. We've got a ripstop nylon fabric that feels really robust. A front mesh zipper pocket, clamshell style opening to the main compartment, 1, 2, 3, 4 compression straps on the sides, water bottle pocket, side handle, a well padded tech compartment, and we've also got a hip belt and load lifters at the top. As of recording, the Blast comes in 4 color options. For the dimensions, we're looking at a height of around 18 inches, a back panel width of under 13 inches, and a fully packed out depth of around 9 inches. This bag is advertised to be 40 liters in size, which is great for a weekend trip if you're a bit of a heavy packer. But if you're someone like me, a bit more of a minimalist packer, you can get away with a bag like this for weeks on end, months on end, if you don't mind doing a lot of laundry. For the weight, we're looking at 3.3 pounds on scale number 1 and 3.2 pounds on scale number 2, which at 40 liters is a really nice liters to weight ratio. Although I will say, kind of looking at the bag, I feel like it's a little bit, not quite a full 40. I'd say this feels like closer to like 32 to 35 liters. Margaret, what do you think? Yeah, maybe closer to around 35. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. And for all that, the bag runs around 109 USD. And if at any point during this review, you're thinking to yourself, damn, I'm totally gonna get one, and you're gonna make a purchase, we highly recommend doing so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the BagSmart Blast 40-liter travel backpack. Starting with the aesthetic, I think for a more budget-friendly brand, BagSmart has a better look to it. We actually really dug the aesthetic of the original Blast backpack, and I think this isn't far behind. It's a little bit more boxy, it's a little bit more, it's not quite as sexified, but I will say, like, the bar is kind of low for budget travel bag brands. A lot of these bags look bad. This one's coming in a bit sexier, I'll say. And one thing contributing to that is this really nice ripstop nylon being utilized all throughout the bag. Gives it kind of a modern look. It's got a nice little sheen to it. As to where, like I'm saying, it's attracted too much attention, because the whole thing when you're traveling is you don't want to attract attention. You want to stay low-key, subtle, stealthy, and a ripstop nylon like this accomplishes all the above. Now, BagSmart's branding, you can see, is right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm not a fan. Looks a little dorky. I prefer their older branding. Looks a little bit more minimalist and modern. But in contrast, I am a fan of this front mesh pocket right here. This is utilizing what seems to be basically kind of a power mesh. And you can see A, it's very see-through. B, it's got a nice little amount of elasticity to it. Now, it should be noted, as I'm looking for something to put in this pocket, let's do a hoodie, that I like this pocket for its ease of access, and that stretch factor of the mesh allows you to pack bulkier things in there as well. But I also need to point out, it's not a very weatherproof pocket. So if you have anything in here and you get caught in a torrential downpour, it's gonna get saturated. Absolutely soaking wet. What are your thoughts on this pocket? Does the lack of weather resistance kind of kill it for you, or doesn't matter? Give me that easy access. I think it's a great spot for a hoodie, book, a small dop kit. Let me know your thoughts on this pocket though, I'm quite curious. Now on the front, we also have this admin compartment, and I love what BagSmart is doing with the lining of this compartment. Because look at how beautiful it is and how bright it is. This helps to create a highlight effect, which makes it easier to find what you put where. In this compartment, we have a key leash, lining pocket, pen pocket, mesh pocket, bit of space at the bottom. Let's pack it out. The space at the bottom gives you some depth, so you can go ahead and put a hoodie down there if you so wish. And then in here, I'm gonna throw my wallet, a couple of pens in the pen pocket, and some gum in here, tissues, and just to showcase there is some depth in the pocket, over the head headphones, piece of cake. I don't have any keys right now, but they would go here. This detaches pretty easily, kind of cheap plastic hardware, but it does get the job done. Close it up, and that's the front. What are these zippers? What are you? Are you YKK? They are! God, BagSmart, bring in the value at the price point. I mean, 99 bucks for all these great fabrics and materials, plus you got YKK zippers. And I like the zipper poles being used. Just a basic nylon pull cord with a little knot at the end, making it easier to grab, open, and close. It's just a bag that at the price point feels like it's going to last the test of time. Okay, the front was pretty fast. Let's jump into the next section. Could take a little bit longer. Let's talk about the middle, the BagSmart Blast 40-liter travel backpack. Now we got two handles to deal with. One on the bottom, one on the side. I gotta say, BagSmart's choice of this sort of neon bluey green, actually I think it kind of works. It looks a little tacky, but not like super cheap. Gives the bag a bit of color. And you can see these handles are really well reinforced all the way throughout the bag. But they're not very well padded, which I think at the price point is okay. One nice thing is you have a lot of grabbing room, space to fit your mitts. And I do like the addition of the bottom handle. For those times when you get on the plane really fast, you throw it over top backwards, right? You're like, oh crap, but you got this handle so you can grab it out of the bin. And then notice beneath the bottom handle, we have a ventilated shoe compartment, which is quite interesting because I've never seen this before. You can actually close the ventilated shoe compartment inside the main compartment, or you can open it and then put your shoes in here. I got my shoes in a Belroy shoe pouch right now, just so you can see, size 9. They fit very nicely. And then the ventilation holes right there at the bottom. Talk about that compartment a bit more in depth in just a second. In the meantime, let's talk compression straps, because I quite like these compression straps. And normally I'm not much of a compression strap user, but compression straps, I will admit, have some pretty cool functionality to them. Functionality, thing number 1 is you're trying to fit it into that little bin on a budget airline, and it's too thick, right? Your bag is too girthy. So you can take these compression straps and use them to cinch the bag down. You're not gonna get a lot of cinch going on, but you're gonna get some. Therefore, possibly allowing you to place it in the restricted bin to hit those budget airline dimensions. But also, these bad boys can allow you to, again, cinch your bag down, therefore reducing the depth and the overall profile. So when you get to your destination, the 40-liter travel bag kind of turns into like a, I don't know, like a 29-liter everyday carry bag. Again, not something that I would do, as I'd rather just bring like a small packable bag, but if you're on a bit of a budget and you need this bag to double up and have more versatility, those compression straps can be helpful. One last thing I quite like about them too, is they don't interfere with the opening of the main compartment. A lot of these compression straps, these buckles, will interfere and you gotta like unbuckle to open the main compartment. God, that's annoying. BagSmart did a really nice design job to ensure that wasn't the case, so props to them for that. Now beneath the side handle, we have a little hidden quick access pocket. I'll bet you this is probably some RFID blocking fabric. Let's see. Yeah, it says it's an RFID blocking pocket. This looks like some freaking alien RFID blocking fabric crap. Maybe crap's the wrong word, but like RFID blocking is a bit controversial in the backpack world. Some people say it's, awesome. Other people say it's complete BS. Side argues that a bag like this, if you put your passport in here, the RFID-ness is still like leaking out of the zippers and everything. It's not truly RFID blocking, right? But let's say you're on team RFID. You can go ahead and put your phone in there. My iPhone 13 just barely fits, but it gets in there. Zip it on shut. And a pocket like this is great when you're traveling. You can swing the bag around, grab what you need, like let's say your phone, being blocked from those RFID scammers out there. There are some internal pockets in this pocket, but I don't think I'd ever use them. Way too tight in there. Kind of a tight pocket in general. I think your phone is probably gonna be the biggest thing you can fit in there. This pocket, don't organize too much, keep it simple. Side pocket, we got a water bottle holder, which we're gonna test out in a minute. Put that there to remind me, because you want to test it out when the bag is fully packed out to really get an idea of how well it can fit when you're actually traveling with the bag. Before we get into the main compartment, we have this quick access pocket right here, which I also like. The zippered mesh area. This mesh is not my favorite. Unlike this front mesh, which is stretchy, this mesh is much more coarse, no elasticity. but could be a good spot for some backup cables and maybe even your sunglasses due to the microfiber lining used here. It's not the finest microfiber, but at the price point, gets the job done. I'm totally cool with it. Okay, let's get into the main compartment, where again, this just does not feel like 40 liters to me. Margaret and I are gonna stick to what we said. Feels like it's closer to 32, 35, somewhere in that range. Inside the compartment, we have 2 compression straps on this side of the bag and 2 pockets on the other side, one of which is a non-stretchy mesh, the other of which is a plasticky pocket with a bit of volume. Let's pack it out. So you can see I got a bunch of travel stuff, but let's note what's happening with the shoe compartment. I got it loaded with a size 9 pair of men's shoes, which are not the biggest shoes, and you saw just how much space in that compartment it actually took up. So if you're bringing shoes, you're losing half your packing space, I'd say, which is why I don't believe this thing is actually 40 liters. Let's say you're not bringing the shoes. Remember, you can zip this part of the bag up, out of sight, out of mind. Now you got a nice clean canvas, full packing cube here, little happy packing cube at the top. Slide that around. Tech pouch here, smaller tech pouch on the side. Let's see how well these compression straps work. Compression straps inside a bag, they're kind of old school. They don't look great, but honestly, they're very functional. I mean, they're keeping everything really nice and compact. Nothing's gonna fall out of your bag. I don't know why I'm so opposed to them. I don't like them on my travel bags, just think that they're kind of like boomery, but they work really well. Now on the flip side, we got this pocket here, which I think is great for a DOP kit. Let's see if my Belroy fits. Tight fit, but should kind of get, come on. Nope, not really getting in there. Close, we're in, okay. That just barely made the cut. Nice and tight. And then we're gonna throw a reading book, Shoe Dog. Best book I ever read in my darn life, right there. Close it on up. I stick to what I said, 35, close to what it feels like. It has a bit of expansion to it, like, so when it's actually packed out, you can see we have a bit more room to play with. Water bottle holder. I got a 1 liter Yeti, which is actually fitting kind of nicely, but kind of not. I think the problem with this water bottle holder is gonna be, it looks pretty deep. We're at 6+ inches, but as you can see, we're not getting perfect security. But that's what top compression straps are great for, because you actually take one of these guys, bring it over top, and then secure it into place. Now, that's a significantly more secure water bottle. But overall, it's definitely a really small water bottle holder. Not my favorite execution I've ever seen, although it does work, I guess. Woo! We are moving along, guys. Slowly, but very surely. And if you're thinking to yourself, damn, this review is very intensely detailed, and I love it. I want more. Well, I should tell you, if you're really into travel and everyday carry gear, then you might be very happy to find out that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do epic reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can look at me as like your reporter in the field. I am absolutely obsessed with the world of everyday carry and travel gear. There's a revolution happening with all this amazing gear. There's so much cool stuff happening. So the newsletter is sort of like my centralized source where I'm telling you, yo, this is what's going on. Newest releases, limited edition drops, exclusive discount codes and giveaways, a bit of industry gossip, and everything in between. So if you want to keep your pulse on what's happening in this incredible industry, be sure to sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your box. All right, let's talk about the back of the BagSmart Blast 40-liter travel backpack. Laptop compartment. Got like this 3/4 zip. You can see, we got this. I love this lining. It's so light, soft. Inside the laptop compartment, we got a mesh pocket here. You can see it just goes down to there. And the actual tech sleeves on the opposite side, let's pack it out. Now for 40-liter bags, you can usually get a 17-inch laptop in them. This is a Asus VivoBook. And you can see we are getting it in there using the Velcro to secure it and, oh yeah, zipping it up. Now that doesn't mean that every single 17-inch laptop will fit in this bag, but it means you're good with 16 inches and below, basically across the board. And then we also have a 13-inch iPad, which you can see fits in right there. Now I like the padding on these sections. You can see actually really nice padding, both sides. And this fabric here on both sides also has like a microfiber property. It's the same material that's used in this pocket. It's not the nicest in the world, but it works at the price point. Let's see what the laptop compartment's like. We got a bit of a false bottom going on. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, this is really interesting. Cool, dude. So you can see right here on the sides of the bag, got like these circles, and each one of these is like padded with foam. And BagSmart has actually lined the entire laptop compartment with this. This is really cool. Yo, BagSmart, awesome, love that. Therefore, we're just kind of creating, you know, more padding along the rim, the outer edge of that laptop compartment. Looks a little funky, don't get me wrong, but functionally, you're just gonna get some really nice protection. And you're already getting a bit of a false bottom here. This guy ends about right here, so if you drop the bag, your laptop is just very well protected. So I love what's happening in this laptop compartment. Minus the Velcro, you can see it's actually, you gotta really pull it down for this taller laptop. I think though, it'll be a much nicer fit for my 13-inch MacBook Pro. Yeah, that's nice. So, but now we're kind of loose actually. You know, these Velcro systems, they're never perfect. On the flip side here with this mesh pocket, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my hard drive, zip it on up. Let's talk about comfort. Overall, I find BagSmart bags to be pretty comfortable. I will say the shoulder straps are a bit on the shorter side for a 40-liter travel bag. This guy's 2.5 inches. Might prefer 3 to be honest. We got some really nice padding and ventilated materials on the back panel, and sort of a trifecta to help improve comfort with load lifters, sternum strap, and a non-removable hip belt. Now for the hip belt, we got a bit more of a belly button belt going on. You can see my belly button is literally directly underneath that buckle. First of all, I'll say though, it's very difficult to make a hip belt that fits every body type. I'm a shorter dude, right? I'm only 5'8", and I like my bag nice and tight, so I really like to cinch it. The hip belt has a bit of padding on the sides, and just enough to like kind of embrace the love handles, which helps make it to be slightly more comfortable. But overall, I'd say this is kind of where sometimes splurging an extra $150 on a travel bag, that's kind of where it goes, is with the comfort and with the harness system. Don't get me wrong, get these load lifters in place. Oh, that helps a lot. Yep, these are less load lifters and more like shoulder strap stabilizers. But when you got this trifecta in place, it works quite nicely. With a more expensive bag, you might have a flatter back panel, slightly more padded shoulder straps, and padding on the back, and a hip belt that might be detachable, and a bit more padding, but more or less at 99 bucks. It's hard to complain about what BagSmart's got going on here. We also got some dangle stoppers on the sternum strap and the waist belt, which makes this little guy happy, but we don't have any on the shoulder straps, which makes this little guy sad. Cheer up, little guy. We'll get them all one day. We've been fighting dangle here at Nomads Nation for years. We'll never stop the fight, never. Overall though, price point, comfort, I give it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Last note, luggage pass-through holder. You can see right here, it allows you to carry the bag this way, which is the way it's supposed to be. Like the luggage pass-through holder, reinforced stitching on either side, doesn't feel too tight, doesn't feel too loose. It allows you to sit on the suitcase turn, damn it. Pretty well. Oh my Lord, I missed one pocket. Right here on the back, we got a hidden zippered back pocket, and there's a reason that I almost forgot it. It's because of how small it is, dude. Looking at, just around 6 inches, which I prefer these to be around like 7 to 8 inches, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot. It's kind of tight in here when it's only 5 to 6 inches. It's hard to fit what's supposed to go in there, like your passport, boarding pass, or wallet. When the bag is less packed out, it's an easier fit. And again, it's another feature that offers quick access. Swing the bag around, you know, it's a bit heavy. You can grab your passport. It's a nice little airport hack. And if you're ever thinking, dude, I love airport hacks, and I want to connect with more people who know more airport hacks, be sure to check out the Nomadization subreddit. We just launched it recently, got a whole crew of very active travelers and EDC nerds. We link to it in the description below, be sure to check it out. Okay, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the BagSmart Blast 40-liter travel backpack. Pro number 1, price point. It's a solid bag without spending too much money. Pro number 2, it's rare for a bag at this price point to have load lifters and the hip belt. So you're getting additional comfort there that not a lot of other bags in this price range typically offer. And pro number 3 is I was really impressed by that sort of like eggshell laptop protection on the edge of the tech compartment. Very well done. But on the flip side, every bag that we review, even sponsored ones, have cons. Con number 1, the capacity seems a bit smaller than advertised. Con number 2, not a huge fan of the water bottle holder. If it wasn't for this buckle, this water bottle holder would not work very well. And con number 3 is the fact that the waist belt, while a nice addition, is non-removable, which can be annoying sometimes. And if you're still here watching this, it's a good chance that you might be thinking about making a purchase, which if that's the case, just a reminder, we do recommend making your purchase or finding out more information with the first link below. That link just makes sure you get the best price. And if we have any discount codes, which we usually have for BagSmart, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about some alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs. Alternative number 1 is going to be the Tomtoc T67, another great budget backpack company. Tomtoc is known for making really durable, well-designed, and very comfortable travel gear. They offer a little bit different of an aesthetic, but in terms of bang for buck, they're really hard to beat. And alternative recommendation number 2 is going to be the Osprey Daylite 26+6. Great pick for you if, again, you're on a bit of a budget, but you want a bag that offers expansion, as it's a 26 liter that can expand to 32 liters. And it's got a bit of a cult-like following, an incredible warranty. Honestly, all 3 bags are freaking awesome. I was really impressed by the Blast 40. But in case you wanted to kind of test out the waters and see what else is on the market, be sure to go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let us know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.